The information in this episode is current as of the date recorded and is not intended as financial, tax, or legal advice. You should consult your tax, financial, and/or legal advisors before implementing any transactions and/or strategies concerning your finances.
Hi, my name is Darren Wilcox. I'm a senior financial advisor at John G. Ullman Associates, and I wrote a blog recently that I wanted to talk to you about a little bit today. So the blog that I wrote is about being prepared in life, and not just being prepared on a day-to-day basis, but applying some of the information that we receive. It's a lot of information out there in the world, and the more that we receive, sometimes some of those things can get lost if we don't apply them. The example I used was a story that's an older story. It's about a kingdom of ducks. Once in this kingdom, there was a king, and this king decided that he wanted to hold a conference for all of his fellow ducks. He wanted to teach them some things that were very important to him. So the day of the conference arrived, and all of the ducks started to show up at this conference. And they came by bicycle, they came by skateboard, they came by train, by car, by all kinds of different transportations. They were all very excited to be at this conference because they really loved their king. So the king taught them a lot of different things through the conference. They had a really good few sessions. Finally, towards the end, he told them he was going to teach them something very special. He said, "Today I'm going to teach you all how to fly." So he began to flap his wings, and off he went into the sky. And all the other ducks looked around, and they began to flap their wings, and off they went into the sky as well. And soon they were all flying through the air. As they flew, the king would show them different things, show them how great it was to see things from the air, and how they could look around, and how fast it was to go places, and all of those things. They had a wonderful time. So eventually the king brought them back down to the ground, wrapped up the conference, and all the ducks began to head back to their homes. And they went back by bicycle, by skateboard, by car, by train, by all the other methods of transportation that they had arrived originally. And one of the king's advisors noticed that he looked a little bit sad, a little disappointed. They asked him what was wrong, and the king said, "It's too bad that they didn't apply what they learned." So in life, a lot of times we have similar experiences. Lots of information, lots of blog posts, lots of podcasts. We can gather information all day long if we want. But sometimes if we don't apply that information, it can become overloaded in our lives. So I think of it kind of like a bucket of water. The bucket of water that we have, you need to put information into that bucket, information being like the water. The more information you put into the bucket, eventually that bucket's going to overflow. And then some of that information, that water, is just lost. But if we can take a second bucket or a pitcher or a cup or something else, and we can transfer some of that water over to another bucket, then we can keep putting water into that original bucket. Information is the same way. After a while, if we can take some of the information we've gathered and we can apply it in our lives, it's like transferring water out of that bucket into a different bucket so that we can use it in our day-to-day life. So one thing that I'd like to recommend is that rather than continuing to just gather information, take a step back, look at some of the recent information, the recent maybe things that you've read where you've said, "Oh, that's a good idea. I should do that. I should apply that in my life." And then actually go and apply a couple of those things. Accumulating knowledge is great, but if we don't apply some of it to make our situation better, we're really just wasting our time. So I guess my final advice for this year would be, just don't be a duck. If you'd enjoyed this, I'd recommend that you check out our YouTube channel. We've got plenty of other videos you can see. You can also go to our website and read more blogs, such as the one that I referenced that I wrote today. We have many others that people have written on there, and I'd highly recommend that you spend some time checking them out.
Thanks for watching. If you found this video helpful, give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss future updates. Looking for more insights like this? Head over to our website at jgua.com for additional resources. And if you'd like to talk about your personal financial goals, we'd love to help. Just click the Schedule a Meeting button highlighted on your screen to book your complimentary consultation. Thanks again for joining us. We'll see you in the next video.